This is Central Asia in Focus, and we break down the main news from the region, from major energy and transport deals shaping regional connectivity to water security talks and expanding social infrastructure. I'm Iskandar Akalbayev. Let's begin. Kazakhstan is planning a sharp expansion of renewable energy capacity, aiming to then more double share of green power in its national mix by the end of the decade. The target was outlined by the Energy Minister Yerlan Akingenov at the Baku Energy Week 2026 International Energy Forum, where officials and experts discussed the future of the global energy transition. Today, renewables account for around 7% of electricity generation in Kazakhstan. The government now plans to raise that figure to 15% by 2030, in line with its commitments under the Paris Agreement and its broader goal of carbon neutrality by 2060. Officials stress that the transition will be pursued without compromising the stability of energy system. Alongside new renewable projects, Kazakhstan is focusing on upgrading infrastructure, modernizing power grids, and introducing energy storage systems to support higher shares of variable generation. The country also intends to continue competitive auctions for investors and attract major international energy companies to large-scale renewable projects. No more double taxation. Kazakhstan and Oman have moved to remove a key tax barrier for business and investors. The agreement is designed to make cross-border trade and investment simpler and more predictable. At its core, the treaty ensures that individuals and companies operating between two countries will not be taxed twice on the same income. It also sets clear rules on tax residency, business presence, and how different types of income, including dividends, interest, royalties, and business profits, will be treated. The agreement includes provisions to prevent tax discrimination and establish mechanisms for resolving disputes between tax authorities and expand cooperation through the exchange of tax information. It also introduces safeguards to prevent misuse of tax benefits. The treaty will come into force once both countries complete their internal legal procedures and exchange official notifications through diplomatic channels. Kazakhstan and China are set to remove limits on international road transportation permits in a move aimed at speeding up cross-border trade and improving logistics between two countries. The agreement was reached during a meeting of the China-Kazakhstan Joint Committee on International Road Transport held in Beijing, where officials discussed ways to streamline freight and passenger movement, modernize border infrastructure, and expand transport roads. Under the new agreement, both sides plan to shift to unlimited exchange of transport permits by the end of this year, removing previous quota restriction for carriers. A key focus of the talks was also Nurjole border crossing, where both countries agreed to work on increasing its capacity to reduce delays and improve throughput along one of the region's busiest trade corridors. In the further step toward digitalization, Kazakhstan also plans to introduce payment for toll roads via China's WeChat Pay platform by the end of this first half of the year. Tajikistan hosted a major event focused on one of the world's most pressing challenges, water security. The fourth high-level international conference on the Water Action Decade brought together more than 2,500 participants from 100 countries, alongside representatives of the United Nations, international financial institutions, academia, civil society, and the private sector. The meeting served as a key milestone in preparations for the upcoming 2026 UN Water Conference, with discussions centered on how to accelerate progress on global water goals. A strong emphasis was placed on the transboundary water cooperation and financing for the sustainable water projects, alongside discussions on innovation and the potential role of digital technologies and artificial intelligence in water management. The event concluded with the adoption of Dushanbe Declaration, outlining the recommendations to strengthen international cooperation and speed up implementation of global water commitments. And the positive news for the countries of Eurasian Economic Union. The nations added nearly 18,000 new school places in the first 3 months of 2026, as the member states continued expanding their social infrastructure to meet rising demand. Kazakhstan is accounting for the largest share, with 10.3 thousand places. The expansion was also seen in early childhood education, where 6.8 thousand new kindergarten places were introduced across Eurasian Economic Union countries during the same period. Healthcare capacity also grew with almost 6,000 new outpatient places added in the polyclinics, measured by the daily patient intake capacity. The figures reflect ongoing investment in education and healthcare infrastructure amid population growth, urbanization, and increasing pressure on public services. That's it for today. Stay with Silkway TV channel.